Hey, Editor Light here. While setting up for our second recording session, Medusa and I went on a bit of a tangent about Ziatora that had nothing to do with any of our other planned topics. I didn't want to push our very second episode to over 2 hours, but I also didn't want to just scrap what I believe is an entertaining conversation, and because we both believe that this sort of thing will happen again, please enjoy the very first and unscheduled episode of Byte-Sized, a GasLyght GateCrash GirlBite excerpt. They woke me up early. They didn't let me sleep on the couch. They continued to pester me for 2 hours. And then because I had no responsibilities this morning, I was like, all right, I'm just going back to sleep and I'll wake up when I wake up.
I mean, we do love it when the cats form a union.
We love it when the cats form a union. I think that's Cabaretti, isn't it? The cat. There's the Riveteer union,
well, I mean, Cabaretti is more of like cat. I think Cabaretti is more like cat flappers. Mm-hmm. Like cats for women's suffrage. The dragons are the ones forming the union.
Right. I was just thinking
the Riveteers.
Yeah, the cat's type on Capenna was mostly in the Naya color. I think.
Yeah, I think the cats on
making it up. No, because they're also
the cats in the Cabaretti are supposed to be a riff on like Aristocats.
Yeah.
Because they're all like super like wealthy, like flapper, like great. Or I guess the Great Catsby. That's Jetmir. Yeah.
That's wonderful. I love
and then
that
let's see, we have the Riveteers, who are like the Union, the Dragon Union. Obscura, I feel like, despite Rafine being a Sphinx, didn't actually have like many Sphinxes. I feel like Obscura was mostly birds.
Yeah, I think that is true.
I don't know if there were many Sphinxes on New Capenna, to be honest. I
feel like it's less about them being a Sphinx, I think it's less about Rafine being a Sphinx and more that she is a demon. Because but I mean they're 5 all demons. Yeah, and each one is
but I mean like Jetmir is a cat, and there's a lot of Cabaretti cats, and like Ziatora is a dragon, and there are a lot of, I guess there aren't like a lot of dragons, but there are a lot of Viashino, which are like, well, I guess there are lots of birds, so that's similar. But then I don't know, because that kind of breaks down, because like Falco's a bird.
Falco's a bird, and there's lots of
Falco.
birds.
Okay, I love that there's like Rafine, like Ziatora, like Jetmir, like all these kind of like normal names, and then the bird man in Bant is Falco Spara. He's literally Mr. Bird.
He's
true. Like Birdie McBirdson. He's like, it's like the other, Xander, vampire guy, Jetmir's this like cat with horns. Still demon cat, still less demonic than the CGI cats from the movie Cats. Rafine, who, I mean, if we really want to be, technical with it, is kind of a cat with extra steps. Ziatora, dragon, obviously, very cool. Demon dragon is a very cool creature type that I hope we eventually see more of. I think it's just her and Malfagor that share that type for right now.
I think that is accurate. Scryfall type, demon type, dragon. There's 3 technically, but this is a reach. Hidetsugu and Kairi are a demon dragon ogre, but that's because there's a demon ogre and a dragon on the card.
Yeah, I think I think I'm gonna have to call that one a reach. Because that's not really a demon dragon. That's an ogre demon with a dragon as well. Also a good candidate for if you want to do a Gaytone rainbow dragon type deck, though. Actually, pretty neat. From Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, okay. I was like, there's something that I'm not getting. I'm not Jujutsu Kaisen coded. I know the memes and some of the things I've absorbed via osmosis, but it's not a show that I have partaken in. I really like Ziatora's art.
Yeah, I mean, I like all of Ziatora's arts, to be honest. I really like her art that is, I think, what is it? Let me look it up. I think it's the Showcase one. Mm-hmm. Is that right? because she's like portrayed a few different times. I really like that she has armor. I really like a lot about her. I think that the showcase, I'm pretty sure it's like the Halo foil or whatever. The one where she's like kind of in like a bit of a relief. I don't know what this style is called, to be honest, but it's like the showcase style for New Capenna.
Mm-hmm.
I think that one more accurately represents her as a demon as well as a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very hard to differentiate between the two, and I think her regular art tends to make me like, I think if you didn't tell me that this was a demon dragon, I would just assume this was just a dragon.
Right. I think her showcase art is giving Pestilence Demon to me.
Yeah, I see it. And then everywhere else that she's featured, like she's featured in a few other arts, and she looks much more demonic to me there. Or like enough that I buy it. But I think it is also just very hard.
Does Ziatora have 6 limbs? Or I guess 8 limbs? Yeah, she has 4 arms. I didn't realize that. Hold on.
Wait, I did not realize. Wait, where are you seeing this? I don't think she
Look
does.
at Reign of Riches. Unless, no, that's her chest plate. Okay, that looks like an arm. It looked like a third arm, so I had assumed that was a 4th arm on the other side.
A third arm, you say?
Oh, goodness.
No, it's her. Yeah, it's her chest plate. But I don't know. Like, I think it's very hard to differentiate a demon from a dragon.
Yeah, I think that's more of like a matter of perspective, right?
Yeah, I think ultimately you either end up with a demon that is very scaly, or you end up with kind of just a really evil-looking dragon.
Right.
Because all the signifiers of a demon, which are like generally, I assume, baddish wings, horns, claws, like glowing eyes, maybe fangs are in there, maybe there's a forked tail, are also signifiers of a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Horns, wings, claws, glowing eyes, maybe a forked tail, like... So I think it is just very hard. I like how Malfagor... I think of the 2 demon dragons, I think Malfagor is probably... I like how they did him because he's very much like a... He's just so weird.
Mm-hmm.
He's just so weird looking. He's like this weird centaur thing. He has 8 limbs. He has... technically, he has 10 limbs. He's like up there with the limbs. He's got these kind of like he's got more of a demony face. He's got like this just absolute massive chin.
Yep.
Just like absolute Chad jawline here.
I think Malfagor's a case where if you didn't tell me that he was a dragon, I would not have assumed he was.
You would just, yeah. He reminds me of, like, the World of Warcraft, like, pit lords. I haven't played World of Warcraft, but I know there's, like, that type of archetype of, like, these kind of demony, dragony, centaurish demons that kind of have, like, these wings and then, but, like, more of a dragon-like appearance in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Malfagor kind of swings the pendulum around in the other direction a little bit, for sure.
What's the mechanical distinction between a dragon and a demon? Because I feel like they do reflect different things in the large evil-ish, usually kind of beast creature.
I think they fill similar roles for their color. Like, I think they're both large flying haymakers, generally. Mm-hmm. I think dragons tend to usually be pretty heavily tied to damage. Sometimes a lot of them are very heavily tied to combat. Like, they'll have abilities that deal with combat, or they'll have, like, direct damage abilities, or like, Balefire Dragon, and, like, there's kind of, like, a whole lot of, I mean, we're kind of talking about, like, Incinerator of the Guilty, too. There's, like, this whole kind of field of dragons, where it's kind of like, whenever I do damage to you, I do damage to one of your creatures. So I think dragons tend to be, like, very combat board focused in a way, where I think demons can be a little bit more. I think a lot of demons tend to end up with like life loss for power type abilities, or like kind of drawback for power type abilities.
Very resource oriented type of effects.
Yeah, I feel like dragons are often about I feel like dragons are more aggressively minded and demons are often more controlling in a way.
That makes sense. I was just thinking about Ziatora because once again, I feel like the demon word on Ziatora serves no purpose reflected in the card except for like looping her into the story that there are 5 demon lords. Because this is a dragon effect.
Yeah, it really is. I think that you could really, but I think that you could say that about I think you could say that about literally any of the competa.
I think Xander makes a compelling point for being a demon rather than a vampire focus.
Yeah, but like then it's just one of those things where like, okay, then he's just more like a pure demon, I guess.
Yeah, because
Rafine might be one of my most favoritist Sphinx designs, though. Like, she is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think her design, I do not like her art, but she has a few other arts and like other portrayals. I do not really like Rafine Scheming Seer, the art on either of those, but she has some other art that's kind of out there that shows her more, and she's just like this very weird, gangly, like very gangly, which I don't think comes across well in her art.
Mm-hmm.
But like on some of the concept art or some of the art other places, she's this very, very gangly, like evil looking sphinx with like these horns that kind of come out of her sphinxy headdress, which I think is kind of cool. But like she's not mechanically a demon.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is like an ability that I could see on a sphinx. Like she has ward, which is very sphinxy. She has this like draw discard thing, which is like very like a lot of sphinxes, weirdly enough, have attack or combat triggers. So like I don't feel like she's doing anything out of the realm of a sphinx.
Mm-hmm.
The like new Capenna art where it's like all of them staring down. I'm gonna link it to you. Maybe put in like the YouTube version or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I love how they portrayed Rafine here. I think she looks amazing. Although actually I'm now realizing she's not in the pose I thought she was, and I think that I would have liked it better if maybe she is. I can't tell. I can't tell what's going on with any of these.
4 of them look really good in this art, and then there's also just Falco, who is once again just man who is a bird.
I mean, I think Falco is just man who is a bird. I don't think Falco Spara, aka Captain Falcon, aka Birdie McBird person, Harvey Birdman, attorney at law.
Not Obscura. What is it?
What is brokers?
There we go.
They're literally lawyers. Yeah. They're literally lawyers. I have to wonder if Falco Spara is a riff off of Phoenix Wright.
Oh, I'm sure that there's something wrapped up in that.
Yeah. But, like, again, it's just so on the nose. His name is Falco Spara.
Mm-hmm.
His art is literally birds. Like, what is going on here? Yeah, he doesn't strike me as, like, like, he looks like a bird person with horns. Jetmir looks like a cat person with horns. Xander, I think, again, you have the thing of, like, the signifiers for vampire of being, like, kind of this pale humanoid with, like, messed up features. Kind of when you add the horns onto it, I think kind of just wraps back around to overlapping too much with a lot of the signifiers of a demon to the point where he just kind of looks like a demon. And I think that's like kind of the issue, is that it's really hard to make a demon that doesn't just, demons are just like so malleable that it's really hard to make like a demon something else without either it just looking like a something else that has horns or looking like just a pure demon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't even know why Ziatora is. Like, Ziatora just looks like a dragon. But she's a very good dragon. Like, I do agree with you. The art is very good. She reminds me of a archdemon from, and maybe that's where they're getting the demon from, but she reminds me of an archdemon from Dragon Age. And an archdemon from Dragon Age is just a fucked up dragon. So, like,
I feel like there are a lot of stories in media, fictional media, fantasy-themed fictional media, where you talk about a demon that is the evil crux, the apex of power, and when it shows up, it just has taken the form of a dragon, and that's just, they don't acknowledge that it's a dragon. It is a demon. It just happens to look like a dragon.
Yeah.
We're circling back around to the original question of, is Ziatora a dragon or a demon?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I think that, a dragon can definitely be used to describe like a very fiery, like aggressive obstacle that one has to overcome, in the same way that I think a demon can be used to describe, kind of metaphorically more like a very almost like unnaturally, I don't know, like if someone says someone's like as fast as a demon, or they were like a demon, right? Like very brutal, very like supernaturally, like, unnerving in some way, or or unnatural. And so I think in that way, Ziatora is probably being both a dragon and a demon. My question about Ziatora that I never got from the lore, and because like the card and like the idea of the demons kind of, like the 5 demons kind of running New Capenna would kind of suggest the opposite. Is the Riveteers a union that Ziatora is the leader of, or is Ziatora the boss that the Riveteers are unionizing against?
I think it's that Ziatora is the leader of the union, and that Ziatora is abusing it. It is a union that is not 100% pro-worker.
She's a corrupt union rep. Okay.
Yes.
She's like I mean, her card is basically that she's like sacrificing people for insurance money, which is kind of fucked up. Or she's kind of actually, no, it's kind of like she's like, we're playing like, I don't know, like fucking Mario or Sonic or something, and she's just picking up like a little minion, just punching it for coins and then throwing it.
And as long as you're good to the union, you're not the minion that gets picked up and punched for coins.
Yeah. I actually kind of love the idea of, like, I think there are a lot of bosses or like monsters in media who like, they'll kind of throw their underlings at you. And I love the idea of Ziatora pausing after she's picked up another underling to throw, shaking them upside down to get
take their lunch money and then throwing
their lunch money and then throwing them. I mean, wait, isn't that hold on. Am I just misremembering this, or is that literally the Art of Revel in or not Revel in Riches? What is that card called? The Cascade. We literally just talked about it. Reign of Riches. I don't think, no, she's just throwing the money into the air.
This is a celebration. No,
it looks like okay, this one's like kind of wholesome, because it looks like she is sharing the spoils, it appears. I mean, I think this image is taken 5 seconds before all of those people become eaten people, maybe, but, because I can just see it being like, yay, we've won the payout, we renewed our union contract. Okay, I'm hungry now. But, yeah, no, I mean, maybe Ziatora. Maybe, I guess I don't know much about Ziatora, except for that she is a demon dragon, which, like, I guess kind of, and it shouldn't, because I love both of those creature types, but I guess just going off of my assumptions of what those creatures are generally like in fantasy media, kind of biases me against the idea that she may be nice. Or at least traditionally warm and nurturing, or benevolent. And then, like the ability on her card, she's kind of a dick. She's kind of a dick to your own creatures, and she's kind of a dick to your opponents. Like the amount of times I've just sat in a game against a Ziatora and just been like, you're gonna like fucking kill my mana dork, aren't you? Like, you're gonna like fucking kill my fucking
You're gonna cast a Plague Crafter, and then you're gonna throw the Plague Crafter at something else.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, fine.
Well, that was a fun little tangent.
I think I might do more research on what Ziatora is actually like, although knowing where magic lore was at the time, I doubt she is even portrayed.
No, I don't think Ziatora gets a whole lot of characterization. I think that, like, there's a mention of her giving a speech in one of the stories that happened on New Capenna, but it's like a passing by type of thing. I don't think she gets a whole lot of spotlight at any point, which is unfortunate.
That's really interesting. I think we might have been completely wrong about her.
Oh, yeah?
Damn. I think she might, yeah. Her history on the wiki is interesting. She's also apparently a skilled orator, according to the Wizard. So, like,
well, that makes sense.
Good with words. I guess, again, I wouldn't expect it from a Jund demon dragon to be, like, super good with words.
I'd expect it from a demon.
That's fair. I would expect it from a demon. I guess I would just assume that the dragon part kind of cancels that out. I'm trying to see, like, what else she... I guess she does appear in some stories, so maybe I'll have to read those. This is like a long tangent that we are going on at this point. Oh, there is actually art of her. I think this is from the trailer, where she is indeed, I don't know if it's one of her own people, but she is indeed holding someone upside down, presumably to shake them out of their well.
I see it. I'm looking at it right now. That's really funny.
I love this idea now. Yeah. But yeah, it says she became she is a thrill seeker. She's not really, she was kind of she was not really well respected by other dragons. She is a champion of the working people.
Okay.
She may actually just be the most, like, the goodest girl. I don't know.
So maybe it's more of she's treats her union workers, those under her I don't know, control.
Look, sacrifices have to be made.
Sacrifices have to be made. Maybe she treats most of the people that are under her area, her control in Capenna well, and is just very selfish and hoarding when it comes to interacting with the other four.
Yeah, that could be. I don't know. Maybe she views... I like the idea of, like, a lawful or, like, a benevolent dragon that kind of sees, like, the people around them as their horde, like, their friends and family as, like, their horde that they protect, or as part of their horde. I think that's a very wholesome interpretation that sometimes happens in media. If I remember correctly, that was kind of Arcades Saboth's deal in the the Walls Elder Dragon. I think he had, like, a big city, and he was kind of like, yeah, I like all these people. They're basically, like, my horde. I objectify them, but would die for them or something. Also, like, I mean, this is a game where, like, you can literally, like, I know this is the most overplayed example, but, like, you can literally just chuck a sword at a chicken and have it go, like, smack an Eldritch Horror upside the face. So, like, I don't know, like, the card mechanics don't always relate to, like, the character. Card mechanics are not a good judge of whether someone is benevolent or not, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the treasure tokens, maybe the damage is, like, her retribution, and, like, the treasure tokens are...
The friends who made
I think maybe the damage is, like, the lawsuits that she, like, or, like, you know, like, the paperwork, the, like... injury paperwork, and the treasure tokens represent, like, workers' comp. I like that. Or like her very good she has very good life insurance plan policy.
That is entirely possible. It does say, give me the reading her wiki real quick, it does give me the vibes that she was just a dragon who signed a contract with a demon and then became a demon dragon.
Yeah. I think that I don't know much about New Capenna lore. It seems like maybe that's just how they became demons.
Oh, yeah, no, right.
I don't know. I much like New Capenna Commander, I sometimes go back and find New Capenna stuff and go, what the fuck is this? Speaking of New Capenna Commander,
yeah,
this is a Commander podcast.
It is a Commander podcast.
We have spent like a good 40 minutes talking about Ziatora shaking underlings.
It's almost 30. It's almost,
I don't know, not 40
minutes.
It's like almost 30 minutes talking about Ziatora shaking underlings. We'll see if any of that makes it into the final cut. I kind of love it. I kind of love the idea of Ziatora. Again, Ziatora just, picks up an underling, shakes them for their lunch money, like a few coins come out, just nods to herself, flips around, throws them at the nearest enemy. Very, very humorous. Very, very like Bowser, like very Mario, Bowser-like, like energy. Yeah. Honestly. Very Bowser-like, honestly. She could be Bowser.
She could be Bowser.
Yeah.
I would buy that.